Welcome back to Chats con Sabor. I am Yvette, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, Joanna. This is our second edition of our book club episode. Yeah! And today's discussion is going to be the second half of the book Lights Out by Navessa Allen. This was our summer read. We discussed the first half of the book, basically about chapters 1 through 13. There's 26 chapters and an epilogue. And the first half of the book was more about them getting to know each other, how Josh and Aly really got to know each other with their first interactions with each other, for a few spicy scenes in the first half of the book. This second half kind of takes a weird twist. Yeah. The story, I mean, it played out like a movie to me. Yeah. And then it was like, plot twist, it was really weird. Tell me first what you thought about the second half, and do you think that it was just as spicy and enthralling as the first half?
It definitely had some... It definitely had some spice to it, but I feel like we got to know Aly a little bit better and kind of her background, being involved in what she was involved with, or her mom was involved with at one point in time.
Like her family history.
Her family history was interesting. Obviously, we know about Josh's, but now we're finding out about hers. And what's super interesting is how that happens. Yeah.
And we're going to get into those details. Yes. We are going to get into those details. I feel like, well, first of all, in the second half of the book, what was your favorite part or favorite thing? I know we discussed this offline, and we're kind of actually on opposite, well, not surprisingly, we're on opposite ends of it, right? But for different reasons, or for good reasons, I would say. So how do you feel it compared to the first half, and what were your favorite parts about the second half as compared to the first half?
I enjoyed the first half because, like I said, I enjoyed learning the characters and, how the relationship developed with them two. But the second book... The second half of the book that we're discussing now, I would say, here's the epilogue.
The very end, the added chapter of the book.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. The story was really good, but I am the, and we'll get into it. Some of the things that kind of, I understood that Aly's character felt the way she felt about certain things, but at the same time, I'm like, bruh. So it kind of took a turn. Yeah.
It did. So let's get into a little bit of that. So in the first half of the book, we learn that, and we're just going to kind of summarize here. We learn that Josh is who he is, has his background, the type of work that he does. He's already broken into Aly's house. He's got these little tendencies, kind of like a darker side to him. But Aly then learns some stuff about herself and realizes she's got a darker side to her too, where she finds that exciting and erotic, and she doesn't like the vanilla sex. She wants the crazy... the crazy wild sex,
Girl, on some other shit.
Yeah. And on the first half, speaking of the sex scenes, though, on the first half of the book, Aly and Josh don't actually have sex. There's no penetration. In the second half of the book, there is. And that actually was my favorite scene. Okay, so it's a shower scene. I'm going to go ahead and spoiler alert here. Hopefully you've already watched it. I'm telling you, it played out like a movie in my head. Hopefully you've already read the book, and what you're watching is not a spoiler alert. But, okay, they go through some trauma together. They're both trauma bonded, right? Because he's gone through his, she's gone through hers, and now they've gone through something together at this point.
So now they're bonded.
They're really bonded, like legally bonded too, because... But coming out of that, they have their first actual encounter, their first actual sexual experience together. And it's in a shower. And it's kind of, to me, it was kind of vanilla because it wasn't anything super erotic, although having sex in the shower is kind of erotic. But to me, it was more on the sensual side, and it showed a lot of the love that he has developed for her over the course of these weeks that he's been with her and protecting her and them going through this experience. And we'll get a little bit more into those details in a little bit. But the sex scene, though, I feel like it really brought them together. And the fact that she was like in her head about it, and she was just like, God, take me now. Like, this buildup has been building up. And it was so explosive in this shower scene that I was just like, wow.
Yeah. That was one of my favorites, Tom.
What did you think about that scene? And did you feel like it gave them an opportunity to really connect?
I think that's probably where they most connected. Don't get me wrong. I think the build up to their relationship was so beautiful in a way, how it happened. It was so natural, and not that it's healthy to trauma bond, just saying. But the way that it unfolded and how Josh was so infatuated with her. This is where the whole lust thing and everything comes in.
Yeah.
But the epilogue that's why it was my favorite.
Yeah.
Because it like cut and paste everything together of who they were and where they were in their relationship and how it was just super good.
Yeah.
And but I definitely think that it connected them more in a different, because I think like once they actually physically connected, it's when he just loved her even more.
Yeah.
You know, like it just spewed out of him.
Yeah. I think it was his way of showing that he loved her. And just the gentleness, even though it was erotic, it was still erotic. There was still some eroticism, but like I said, there was more sensuality too. And just the way he was with her was very gentle and kind. And I feel like I'm contradicting myself because when you read the scene, you're like, Yvette, come on, that wasn't gentle at all. But the thoughts behind it, because we know what he's thinking in those moments, and we know what she's thinking in those moments, because Navessa does a really good job of separating the two and giving us both perspectives. It's not just from her perspective, and it's not just from his. It's literally combining the two. And I feel like that's when he really realized that he loved her. She knew she loved him from the get-go. I mean, her obsession from all through that. Like but I feel like females are more emotional beings anyway, so we are in touch with our emotions more and quicker. Like we already know when we're feeling the feelings, you know? But men, it takes them a little bit longer to realize, I think, like, oh shit, yeah, I really love her, you know? And I think that was the moment when he really, really realized, man, I love her. Even though he had already said the words, but still, that shower scene, I feel like that was the climax to everything.
It kind of like sealed everything together.
Yes. And so it was more than just a sex scene. Like I said, Navessa does a good job of throwing in how he's feeling, how she's feeling in the moment and everything. And still exciting us, audience, with all the lust and everything, but there's love underneath it.
Yeah.
So
it definitely binded the two characters together.
Yeah.
I feel like it kind of put the seal.
Yeah. And made you team, what are we going to call them? Jolly? Team Jolly. We can't call them Team, what would it be? Alish? We can't say Alish. Josh and Aly. It's just
Team
anyway.
Josh and Aly.
Jolly. I like Jolly. Because it sounds like jolly. They're just happy. All right. So, question for you. Now, well, actually, I already asked you. Now that we finished the comparison, let's jump into reading a couple of not chapters, but little excerpts, right? Mm-hmm. So, you did something different than I did. I actually just read the book. That's it. Just my own, I read.
I travel a lot for work, so I had to download it on my audio too. So on my Audible book, so I had a chance to listen to it as I was driving to wherever I needed to drive. But do you just want to skip straight to chapter 15?
Sure, whichever one. Yeah.
Okay. So here's Ally's outlook on some juicy stuff. That's what I'm going to leave you with. All right. So here we go.
Leaving him instead of waiting for the other shoe to drop. Yes, he might end up breaking my heart. But if I didn't give this a chance, I'd be breaking my own heart instead. And possibly his along with it. I sat up and slipped my arms free from the bathrobe, letting it fall to the covers behind me. His eyes roamed over my body with feverish intensity, like he didn't know where to look.
He always
So he tried to drink all of me in at once. I would never get sick of being looked at this way. Like
Me either,
I was
Allie.
someone to be cherished and lusted after at the same time. It made me feel safe with him, even though he still managed to scare me sometimes. And yet, the slight fear of never knowing what he would do next only had me wanting him more. It made me want to be brave for him, but I still had a few concerns about his request. The knife handle was long and wide, with a rounded head and a slight undulation more
Here
suited
it
to a
goes.
kitchen knife than a hunting blade. I didn't think it would hurt me, but that still left the risk of infection or slicing myself open.
The nurse in her.
He reached behind him and dragged his backpack closer. Keeping his eyes on me, he pulled what looked like a disinfecting packet out of it.
If you think I would ever let something happen to that perfect pussy.
He said, gaze dropping.
That's where I stopped it because we didn't want to tell you what exactly was going to happen.
Oh my god. Yeah, that scene, that was before the shower scene that we were just talking about. Way before the shower scene. So at that point, they still hadn't had penetrative. How do you say that? There was still no penetration. So he was kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? He was satisfying her with objects. Well, let's just say that.
With not a normal object.
Yeah, not normal objects. I mean, one of them was a toy, but
Not the first
what we
one.
were talking about in this one, or what she was talking about in this one, yeah. But again, you see how Navessa does a good job of describing the fact that he's like looking at her like,
That's why I took that clip, because I wanted them to hear how he just loves her. Like,
Yeah.
it's just, he wants to like soak her in.
Yeah.
And I thought that was like such an amazing part leading into what happens next, but I didn't want to give you the next.
Because then it kind of negates everything.
Yeah. So, but it gives you a good idea, and especially hearing a female
Yeah.
kind of play it out for you. You're like,
I will say I don't really like her voice for Aly, because that's not Ally's voice in my head.
yeah, it's not Ally's voice in my head either, but Josh's
least
voice is not Josh's voice in my head either. So we have a couple clips for Josh's
Yeah,
voice.
Josh's voice is not his voice in my head either. I feel like in my head, because he's so nerdy and quirky, it's not as deep as that. It's like an octave maybe higher. Because again, he's got this nerdy side, he's got this quirky side, almost like dorky. I don't know. Like, he can be seductive and everything, but he forces his voice to come down. But in his normal voice, it just, I don't know how to explain it. But I like that clip because, again, it just kind of shows how there is connection between them. It's not just about the sex. They can separate it. That's the thing about them together, is they separate the sex and the eroticism from their love and the connection, because Ally's constantly noticing little things about him and how he looks at her, how, and he's noticing little things about her, how she moves and how the hair, he just like kind of brushes her hair off her face, things like that. There's some moments where they have really, really deep, intimate moments, where she's talking about her mom, and then he finally tells her about his dad, and things like that. And it's funny how she finds out. Do you want to talk about how she finds out about his dad, like his background?
I don't know. I feel like it's giving them too much.
But they should have already read this at this point.
I have it on my thing, on my notes, but I was like, yeah, no, I'm not gonna get it. No.
No? Mm. All right. Well,
if you want to, you can, but I know several people have read the book or are reading the book, so I don't want to ruin too much.
Yeah.
And we've given you so much of their personalities and their love.
What I will say though is that this major thing that they go through together, and I won't say that part, okay, because I feel like everybody needs to read it on their own, that piece of it. She finds out about his dad, about his history and everything after everything that they've gone through together. Yep. So again, we talked about trauma bonding. They go through this traumatic event, each come with baggage, right? This trauma baggage. And then they go through this traumatic event together, which brings them a lot closer. And through all of that, she's realizing, man, I really love this guy. I'm going through all this shit with him. And he's like, I just want to protect her. Anyway, without giving too much away, I'll say that she finds out about his dad after all of those events occur. I feel like that helped her to react in a certain way instead of running the opposite direction, which any normal person probably would have. She ran towards him. Yep. And wanted to be there for him. And like, this changes nothing. If anything, this solidifies more how I feel about you.
What do they call that? Codependency. Sorry.
We're not promoting it.
We're not promoting it. It's just things happen.
Yeah. Anyway, and then the sex scene in the shower, the actual sex penetration happens after that. So I'm just saying there's a lot of things that lead up to it. And then that's why I'm saying that the sex scene in the shower, their first time together, like actually first time together, is really special because it's like this build up to it, with everything that they went through.
I think it's the build up, but I also think that Josh kind of let go because she accepted him. Mm-hmm. So he gave in.
That's what I'm saying. That's when he realized, I actually love this woman.
Yeah.
He was lusting over her and he felt protective over her, and he was feeling the feelings, just not realizing that he was feeling the feelings until he actually felt the feelings, if that makes sense. I don't know if that sounds a little kind of quirky in my head, but yeah. Anyway, wow, we are already at our slice of advice. I know.
Don't be mean.
And then we're going to get into some more juicy details.
That be me, y'all. So, today's slice of advice, and it says today.
Oh, it's beautiful. I love that.
Be a blessing, be a friend, encourage someone, take time to care, let your words heal and not wound. Count your blessings and be grateful that you are in a position to help others.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this can work as our wow too, but to me, I think a lot of people get lost in the sauce.
Yeah.
And when you do something for someone, you do it out of love, out of kindness, with no expectations. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of people forget that when you love someone, you do whatever needs to be done for that person. Mm-hmm. Humanly possible. If you can, you can't, whatever, you look around, you try to do what you can. And I think nowadays people have forgotten what it is to be a friend, what it is to be a spouse, what it is to be a sister, what it is to be a brother. And that kind of hits home with me in a lot of different aspects. So be humble. And I think you said that, and that was one of our things for your slice of advice was, you know, and your wow, it's like, take a step back and actually look, because you can lose a lot when you start pointing the finger.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you feel as though you did what you could, but the intention was never to help. It was always to throw it back in somebody's face.
Yeah.
It wasn't a genuine thing.
Yeah.
It was a self-validation thing. So, just trying to pick my words there. So anyways, that's my slice of advice.
That was a good one. Thank you, Miss Joanna. That was great. All right, let's discuss the love story behind their sadistic tendencies on both sides, not just his, because we just said, we learned in the first half of the book that she found out that she's got some dark sides, some dark tendencies, some dark erotic fantasies and stuff that she wanted played out. Like, she asked for it, he gave it to her, and she accepted it. She was like, yeah, sure, let's go. Let's play. So let's discuss, though, how can, maybe in real life, how can love develop from these, like, sadistic tendencies, and is it really love?
That's what I was going to say. Is it really love?
Yeah.
Or is it lust?
Yeah.
Is it obsession? Is it, trauma? What is it? Because I think, and I know a lot of people are going to send some hate messages on this, but love, and I think I've said this before, love is kind. Love is humble. Love is not angry. Love is gentle. And I think that some people forget that the excitement of love is not what love is.
Yeah.
So you need to learn the definition between love and lust. Excitement isn't always love. It's more lust than it is love.
Yeah.
Love is something that is built on trust, on, faith, grace. It's humble. It's not pound me in the asshole. I mean, to each their own. If that's what love brings to you, okay. I mean, we are reading this book.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah, you might want to cut that out. Anyways.
I might not. Just throwing it out there. Oh my god. That is so funny.
In my 50 years, because I'm going to push the 50-year thing. In my 50 years of living my life the way I've lived my life, I know that a lot of relationships that I've had has been based on some type of trauma in my life. And I feel like that's why a lot of it has not, even when I was a kid, they never worked out because of that.
Yeah.
It's, you crave for that attention, you crave for that love, and no matter if it's right or wrong, you still want it because you're excited about it at that time. So, I don't know. Got off on a tangent.
No, I think it's relevant though, because when you were saying that, is it love? Is it lust? I feel like sometimes, I've said this before, or in a different episode, and completely different topic. We've talked about how there are some women that can have transactional sex. They think they're having transactional sex and they're okay with it. Underlying though, the wounds that are underneath is what makes them shut off and can just have sex just to have sex.
It's that switch.
Right.
Yeah.
So at the same time, when you're in this situation, like Aly and Josh, when they're in this situation of we're having sex with objects, inanimate objects that are not necessarily meant to go inside a vagina. Let's just say that. Yeah, when you read the book, you'll know what we're talking about. So those are, even though it's erotic, it's more of the lust. It's more of the, and I will tell you, I would not have been able to get through this book. I would not, had it not been for the underlying love story. Because underneath it all, I'm a hopeless romantic. Sure, I want to know about all the juicy details and everything. And, I want to read about smut. And, that's why they call it smut, because it's like, it's dirty. It's, erotic. It's, not something that I want in my everyday life. I wouldn't want this kind of situation in my everyday life. I'm not about the dirtiness. I'm about the connection. I'm about the love underneath. I'm about building the foundation between two people, because I believe, and I've experienced, when you do have a sexual encounter then with somebody, when you've built that, I want to say rapport, but it's not, it's more than that. It's deeper than that. When you've built the connection, then the sex is explosive. It is magical. It is all of the things. It's so much deeper than just a dick going in a pussy. I'm sorry. Or an inanimate object going in a pussy. And you getting your jollies, your rocks off on that. So I can see the clear boundaries, the clear difference between, Josh and Aly having these erotic experiences, we're just going to call them. But I can also see where Navessa, draws out the story in a way to where she is showing all the soft sides.
Yeah,
and
she
all
softens it up.
Yeah, all
I
the
agree.
connection and everything. And that's why I was saying at the very end, and our other episode, that I thought this book was going to be a little bit more slutty and smutty, but it wasn't. There was more of the storyline. And I actually appreciated that about this. I felt she did a good job bringing the two together, drawing out the storyline, building it up. It took a turn. It took a weird turn, like any movie would. So do you want to talk about what her family history was?
Sure.
In the book?
So, unbeknownst to us, until the second half, Aly actually had mafia connections, because she is Italian. Not that that's a stereotype, but that's kind of is.
It kind of is, yeah.
So she just knew she had these connections, and
And
that's
used
what
them. Yeah.
that's what she used.
Yeah.
And he loved her, and he wanted to be a part of her life. Even when Josh got involved in, is it Nico or Nick?
Nico.
It's Nico. Okay, so even when he was protective over Aly when it came to Josh too, he was. I really loved him, and I loved his wife. Aly was cool with his wife, but she wasn't cool with him because her beliefs weren't what he did on an everyday basis as being a mafia boss. But at the same time, I felt as though Aly was very contradicting, because she was utilizing
Because she needed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's trying to reach out to you and give you family, but you don't want to give him family. You just need him to do what you need him to do, and that's it.
Yeah.
And he's trying. So that kind of softened my heart a little bit, and I'm like, bitch, get on it.
Yeah.
Your uncle wants a relationship with you.
Yeah.
No matter what his background is, as long as you're not involved with it, you're not involved with it.
Yeah.
Let him do his thing, and you do your thing. So,
But know that the protection is there.
yeah.
Because,
I mean,
let's be real.
obviously she knew the protection was there, because that's where she went to.
Yeah.
After, take it away, Josh.
I loved how when they introduced Nico and the family, the family. After Navessa introduced them, how Josh was still very protective of her. But yet we saw a softer side of Josh, because he was a little bit intimidated, because this is the mob. We're talking about the mob,
Yeah.
right? Big time connections and everything. And the fact that he knew if we go to them, knowing the skills that he had, he knew that he was going to have to somehow, some way
Pay him back.
payback. Yeah. A favor for a favor, right? So, but he was willing to do it because of Aly, because he was in it with her. And you'll see, if you've read the book, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't read up to that point, then you have some juicy stuff, some fun stuff coming up. I will say that it's not Joanna's favorite part. But I thought it played out like a movie because there was twists and turns. And it was, what? Now we're doing this? Okay. So the storyline evolved big time. But I felt, again, all those events led up to that shower scene. So I feel like they were important, like pieces of the puzzle in Josh and Aly's love story. So, yeah.
It's the adrenaline too.
That too.
All the badness.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, when you're in a traumatic, again, it's that trauma bond. When you're in a traumatic situation and very stressful, adrenaline, everything, you tend to bond with the person that you're with. Whoever it is, whether it's a friendship, whether it's a family member. That's why they say when women are giving birth, they fall in love with their baby daddy even more during that time, because it's all that rush of like hormones and adrenaline and they're going through this together. It's like it's a traumatic experience. Anyway, I think though the way he handled everything, and then towards the end, even after, like you said, Nico was trying to still build on the family. He's like, wow, now I have my niece. I love her. I want to be there for her. I want us to build a relationship. So he kind of forced them to have Sunday dinners, family dinners.
Yeah, which is
this
is why I loved him so much.
Yeah.
Was, like, he was truly trying with Aly, and she just didn't want any parts of it because her mom said, "Do not get involved with them."
She was trying to respect her wishes.
Yeah, and that's what she was carrying on with. And what's sad is that she's gone at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Like he is reaching out to you. He wants you to be a part of his life, and you're just stuck on something someone said when they passed away.
Yeah, and you're trying to fulfill some wishes to a dead person, basically, yeah. Going back to dark desires, like what your darkest desires. Do you think that Navessa, like this, I mean, obviously we have questions.
Navessa, we have questions.
But do you think that this book, derived from her personal experiences and her personal desires, dark desires?
I can't answer for her, but that's the questions I have for her. Like, I mean, you can be creative, but at the same time, it's like, what did you do? Did you do research? Did you, is this something that maybe you have a fantasy about, but it's not fully this way, so you added to it because of the research that you've done? That's why I was like, I have questions for her, because I would love to pick her brain on, because she's obviously a very talented writer, because these books it was good. It was amazing.
Yeah.
And the plot twist and how everything just turned around. Like, I would just love to ask her, like, how did it get to that point? Like, how did you decide to like switch it up?
Yeah.
And how do you get there? Like, I don't know. I would not answer that question because I would not answer for her. I would love her to answer that question herself.
So for me, coming from the perspective of somebody who likes to write, I will say that most writers, because there are some that are completely fiction, completely made up in your brain, imagination. Most writers, though, they write from experience. They really do. Or so she could have taken. Actually, I think she says something at the end, where it's like, yeah, I got the idea of this because I was watching some reels and stuff on Instagram, and this one reel popped up, kind of like the one that popped up for me that I shared with my friend. Like, hey, you should do this. And I think that's how she got the inspiration for it. But to draw out this whole...
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
Did she do research? And the more research... You know how some writers will do books on serial killers, and there's people that'll get so invested that they spend so much time researching them, interviewing them. I mean, like, how much research did she did on this, or is it something that she truly experiences? Experience. That's why I would love to like ask,
pick her brain,
like email her and be like, Navessa, can you please tell me how you got to this point? And we are reading book 2, right?
We are. Yeah, we're going to read book 2 after this. And so it'll be part of our season 4 book club. Yeah. So we're going to continue this on because I feel like it's fun. It's just, so reading books is kind of like watching movies, I feel. Except better because you get to use your own imagination and create this like story, the visual effects and everything in your mind.
Of the characters.
And the
places.
Voices. Everything about the book, you get to create it in your mind. And so I feel like this is something good that we can like carry forward into like the podcast and really make it a big thing. Hopefully it takes off. Hopefully you guys will enjoy it. We're going to continue doing it because we both are avid readers. We love reading. So, I think we're going to continue on with this. But yes, we are reading book 2. I think it's called Caught Up. That's what it's called, Caught Up. And I don't think it's as long as this one because it doesn't look as thick as this one. But we're going to read it and we'll see. And we kind of already did a little bit of like, a little dive, not a deep dive, but a little dive into it. And we realized that it's not a like continuation of Josh and Aly. It's a completely different story, completely different characters, but it's the same format where it's the 2 different perspectives, which I like. I think that's her niche. I think I like it. I'm here for it.
I was telling Yvette when we were talking about the second book, I was like, I wonder, because there's some authors that kind of circle back with some of the characters of their books and they like intertwine them. So I'm like curious to see if that happens here.
I wonder.
We don't know. We seriously do not know. So I was like, I want to know, if this is what happens. Like they come full circle and everyone's friends or fathers or mothers, like some writers do. So
yeah. We'll see. We shall see. What do you think about Josh in the second half? Did he redeem himself? Did he show us that he was not necessarily because he, in his words, he considered himself a monster, right? And his dad like a monster. And I think it was because he was grappling with, am I really like my father? Am I my own person? Here I am doing these things to Aly. I'm stalking her, breaking into her house, committed a crime with her, like all these things. Like, am I really a monster? These are questions that he had about himself even before he met Aly and before his obsession with her. So
he was off his antipsychotics too.
True.
He had just weaned himself off of it. He had been off of it for a while. Even Tyler, it's Tyler, right? He was telling Aly about that. So he was clear-headed when he was doing all these things. So I think that's why he questioned himself so much, was the fact that he was not medicated. Right. So it made him question himself even more.
Yeah. So do you think in the second half of the book, though, knowing everything that they went through and then the outcome of what they went through and seeing how he kind of battled his own, demons throughout the events that were going on, do you think he redeemed himself?
I think my opinion is this. I think Josh was in it to win it from the beginning. Like he just, even towards chapter 13, he was just softening so much that by 14, 15 and on, I knew that the love between those two was going to be unquestionable.
Yeah, I agree.
Not that it was predicted, because it's not, because like we said, Navessa has a lot of plot twists in this book. So, but just his character and how he carried himself with her, to me was, I was like, they're going to be infatuated with themselves by the time this book is finished.
I think the epilogue proved that.
Yeah.
Though. Yeah.
Oh, infatuated. I mean, he wanted like 20 kids.
Not just a football team. He wanted like an army.
She's sitting there negotiating with him on how many kids to have. I mean, like,
funny.
what the hell?
All right, we're at our what the fuck moment, and I have our what the fuck. This one is a little bit long. I have to read it because this is kind of crazy, okay? Yeah, it's kind of long. But I'm going to read it, and then you guys tell me, or you tell me what you think, okay? So, you know how we like to read those Reddits?
Oh, yeah.
With Charlotte. I can't
Reddit
I forgot
Confessions,
I
baby.
forgot her name, her last name. Anyway, her name is Charlotte, but anyway, okay, so this says a woman.
Too much fine.
Way too much.
It's been a day.
Woman sues her mother-in-law for defamation. Okay. This is the Reddit, the story. Married for 2 years, mother-in-law wasn't thrilled about the marriage, but didn't really say much at the beginning. I have to preface this by saying the girl and at the time, fiance, boyfriend, whatever's mother got along just fine until they announced their engagement. Okay. Mother-in-law wasn't thrilled about the marriage, but didn't really say much at the beginning. She wasn't super nice to her, but not mean either. So she was kind of indifferent. So there was never a problem. Woman gets a job offer a few states away. Her and her hubby move. During the move, they find out that they're pregnant. They don't say anything to anyone, not even the mother-in-law, until after the second trimester because the woman has a heart condition and they were in constant fear of losing the baby. When they figured the baby would be safe and had made it to the third trimester, they then told their parents over FaceTime. The woman's family was super happy. Father-in-law was ecstatic because this was their first grandchild. But the mother-in-law, for the first time, shared her opinion. She didn't like it. She said, "If you knew you were having a baby, why did you move so far away?" She accused the woman of moving closer to her family so that she could cut off her husband from his family. Weird. Hubby said they didn't know that she was pregnant when they moved, and they moved for the job opportunity, the wife's job opportunity, right? Woman and hubby were shocked at the mother-in-law's behavior, but they just brushed it off. After a few days, the mother-in-law kept sending them an email after email with links to houses back home, trying to get them to move back. The hubby told her that they could not move back due to the wife's, job. They had a great home in the new state and that this is perfect for their small family. They were set. Instead of being happy for them, mother-in-law decides to start sending the hubby, removes the wife from the emails.
No, jeez.
Decides to start sending the hubby emails of 1-bedroom apartments and homes for him and her baby, the mother-in-law's baby. Yeah, crazy for them to move back home. So husband and baby would move back home. Mom would stay wherever they lived, right? Like, since the woman has to stay for work. Hubby shut that down super fast, telling his mom that his life is with his wife and their baby. This behavior went on, but they ignored the mother-in-law. Mother-in-law started sending baby stuff to their house, boy stuff, without knowing whether they were having a boy or a girl. Mother-in-law said her baby is a boy.
Without knowing.
Without knowing. Her baby. How do you call it your baby? This is your son and his wife's baby. Mother-in-law said her baby is a boy. Docs told woman baby would most likely have her same heart condition. So mother-in-law started posting on Facebook how her baby was in danger because of the woman's poor health and accused the woman of intentionally trying to ruin the baby's life. Yeah. Birth of the baby comes along and mother-in-law gets on a plane uninvited and shows up at their house. They're at the hospital having the baby. They're at the hospital, so they're not home to receive her, right? The hubby is in labor with the wife, which was very long and strenuous, so wasn't answering any phone calls. Mother-in-law heads to the hospital at 3 a.m. And since the baby and the woman and the wife were in the NICU and ICU, the mother-in-law wasn't allowed up, thank God. Hubby goes down for coffee and sees her waiting in the waiting room. Asks what she's doing there because, again, she wasn't invited to come. She starts in on him about him not answering her phone calls and texts, starts yelling at him, telling him that she missed the birth of her baby. This woman is deranged.
What the fuck? The baby didn't come out of your vagina.
Dude, the woman is deranged. And she will never forgive him for this. She demanded to see the baby, and when he said no, she freaked out again, claiming that the wife was breaking their family apart. She said that the wife was purposefully got pregnant as they moved so that she could trap them in a new state. Unloaded all her opinions about the woman, about the wife, to the husband, to her son. Hubby told his mom to go home and he would talk to her later. The woman had a baby girl and donated all the stuff the mother-in-law bought since it was all boy stuff. Woman and baby stayed in the hospital for 2 weeks. In that time, the mother-in-law posted on Facebook like it was her job. She found pictures of random babies of different ethnicities. Random photos of random babies of different ethnicities and posted them as her grandchild. Insinuating that the wife cheated on her son, on her hubby. Not flat out saying that she was, but letting the Facebook world know that she was cheating. Hence, now she's suing her mother-in-law. What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh my God.
Sue her fucking ass.
People are fucking wild and crazy.
So...
Yes, please.
Can I do my slice of advice right now?
Sure. Uh-huh.
And this is a mother's advice.
Yes.
And I think you and I are both on a very similar spectrum.
Uh-huh.
When it comes to your kids are grown. Mm-hmm. They're making grown-up decisions. The one thing I learned, as much as I adored my child, my daughter-in-law, and everything, I learned through therapy, but the fuck out.
Yes.
I feel like every time we hear like a Reddit confession and we watch these reels and stuff, so many in-laws, so many parents are so fucking involved in their kids' lives when they're in their mid-20s and their mid-30s. Dude, we did our jobs. We raised them. Let them do what they need to do on their own.
Yes.
You don't have to control them.
No.
Stop it. Because the relationship that you have with your child is broken. Mm-hmm. After that, it's broken. When you start intervening, you're either affecting his wife, you're affecting the kids, you're affecting their family. Mm-hmm. All you need to do is kick back and enjoy your grandkids, if you have any.
Yep.
Enjoy their little family, whether it's husband and wife, whatever it is. But the fuck out. Mm-hmm. I mean, we may not like what's happening, what the situation is, but at the end of the day, we want our kids to be happy. Mm-hmm. And if that person, XYZ, purple, pink, black, is that person, then let it be that person.
Yep.
You know, just butt the fuck out. Go retire. Go drink a freaking margarita. Mm-hmm. Go drink a fucking pina colada. Do whatever you need to do. Just stay out of their lives.
Yep, I agree 1,000%. You and I both speak of this from experience with our children and their, baby mamas and our grandchildren, and being able to see them and not being able to see them and stuff. But I think at some point, even though we want to fix our children's problems, at some point we just have to really take 5 steps backwards and just be, I'm here to give you guidance, but I'm not gonna step in and fight for you. This is your fight. This is your experience, your life, your journey. And if we try to fix everything for our children, we do them a disservice by not allowing them to figure stuff out on their own, We hurt, of course, as grandparents. And this woman, of course, I'm sure she just wanted to be a part of it. She went about it a
very distorted way.
A very deranged way, yeah. She went about it completely wrong, making it about her when it had zero to do with her. Zero.
She has issues.
Huge issues. And I'm gonna kind of throw it out there and say that she's probably Hispanic or some kind of Latino. Because those are the ones that are fucking fully deranged. Calling it your baby, the whole time calling it your baby, even though your son and his wife were ignoring you or, ignoring the fact that this is what you were doing. No, it was not your baby. It was their baby. Your grandchild, sure. First grandchild, I get it. I totally get it. I've had a first grandbaby. I have 2 now, but I've had a first grandbaby. I know. And when I see her, I do call her mine. She's my mama. She's my mamacita. Yeah. I love her with all my being, but she's not my child. He's my child. My son is my child.
She has her mama.
Yeah, she has her mama, and her mama loves her. You know what I mean? And that's all that I can do is be grateful for the fact that her mama she's good to her. So, and she loves my grandchild. I cannot insert myself in that way because I'm 1 degree of separation. You know what I'm saying? I'm not in that family unit. It's mommy, daddy, kids. I'm a degree of separation. I'm the grandmother. She should not have shown up at the hospital uninvited.
Dude,
no,
the posting of the pictures is it for me.
That grabbing, because nobody shared
Someone put her in an asylum.
Nobody shared pictures with her. So she literally went and found of different ethnicities, and then to sit there for defamation. Yeah, to say that the wife, her daughter-in-law, was cheating and oh my God, this is not even. What the
Lord.
fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, that made me. What the fuck? Yeah, big time.
Yeah,
big
get rid
time,
of
big
that
time.
bitch.
Ay. All right.
Sue the fuck out of her.
Boy, oh boy. All right. Okay. Going back to. We still have a few more questions, but okay. Back to lights out. Do you think Aly would make a good partner for anyone other than Josh?
No.
I don't think so either. I feel like they were meant for each other. As fucking delusional as they each were.
It was like the universe said, and just.
Nobody else would be able to take her. Yeah. But let's dive a little bit deeper into that. Because Josh has his quirks and his tendencies and his everything, his weirdness.
But he's so quirky.
His quirkiness, his psychotic, stalking, all that stuff. But let me throw in something in case you haven't read the book. Let me throw in something. Tyler describes him to Aly as... He says, he's like, listen, Josh may be a lot of things, but the one thing that he is super protective of the people that he loves.
Yeah, I remember
super
that.
Protective. And it comes across as a little bit overbearing, he said. He might go a little bit overboard is what he says to Aly, but it comes from a place of love, of protectiveness, of love. I just want everybody to be okay. And when you know his history and what he had to do with his stepdad and his mom, and himself, wipe everything off, literally 0 presence online, then you kind of understand. I mean, it's all trauma based, but it's an overprotectiveness based off of survival. Like he has literally had to use that skill to survive, you know? And when he loves somebody, he loves them deeply enough to like care for them and to protect them, because that's how he is with Tyler. That's how, exactly. Anybody that Tyler would bring home, like a girlfriend or a one night stand or whatever it was, Josh would be there doing his research with all his stuff.
But he was doing it intentionally to protect himself.
He was.
As well as Tyler.
He was, but when he would find stuff out about these girls, he would tell Tyler like right away, no. Like,
and
no.
Tyler would be like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
You kick rocks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that he put so much effort into protecting the people that he loved in such a way. He's breaking into Ally's house, and at the same time, he's saying, oh my God, I gotta get her.
Yeah, he had a conscience.
It should not be this easy to break into her house.
But he also had a conscience, which is something a serial killer does not have.
Exactly.
So that kind
He's not a sociopath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what made him stand out so much, was the fact that, yeah, he was like, oh my God, I could be so much like my father. Like, this is something my father would do, blah, 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 whatever it was. But on the other side, he's like, oh my God, I'm invading her privacy. I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you know? So I feel like the battle in his head was unnecessary.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. But the fact that it was there shows that he
He's
was that
loyal.
way. Yeah.
He's loyal. He's protective. I mean, I'm telling you, this is one of the characters that I really loved Aly, but and I told you this, I love Josh's quirkiness.
Yeah, me too.
His loyalty. Maybe it's because it reminded me a little bit of myself. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, God, there is something about this character that's just the fact that he embraces, he loves, he protects. It, to me, it's like I think that's what we all kind of crave for. Right?
I think so.
Until we don't.
Until they break into your house and watch you. No, seriously. And I mean, again, this is something, Josh's character is exactly what I'm attracted to. Mm-hmm. Exactly what I'm attracted to. It's kind of weird. But I think that's why I fell in love with his character so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's why, I think that's why I fell in love with Josh so much more than Aly.
Yeah.
Was because of that protective nature.
Yeah.
And the love that he had for her, because every woman wants that from a man, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's the God's honest truth. We all want it, even those boss bitches.
It's very true. Yeah.
Want a man that can stand by their side and know that if they go somewhere or something is going on, they are there. But they're truly there. They're not, it's not words, they're physically there. And that's who Josh was.
Yeah.
I think that's why I fell in love with this character.
Yeah.
Navessa, nice job.
Great job. Josh was a perfect character.
Yes.
Like, I loved him. Yeah, you're right. And I like the fact that Aly, the way she depicted, and we're going back to the very beginning of of the book, but our first episode, where we said that Aly was not depicted as a damsel in distress. She was
a badass.
She was a badass. She was tough. And Josh loved that about her. The fact that he didn't have to come in and rescue her, but yet he was very protective of her.
Yeah.
At the same time, he let her be her own person, let her be tough and everything. But at the same time, he was going to be there for her, because when he knew that she needed somebody, like when he went to go pick her up that day from work. He showed up to her work because she had worked over 24 hours, hadn't slept. She was delirious. And then she had a traumatic experience. All the things added up. And he didn't want her driving by herself during an ice storm. Obviously, that's not a freaking serial killer mentality.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think he was so hard on himself about who his father was that he kind of missed the cues of that you're not that way. I mean, you were able to cold turkey your medications and you're still loving and kind. Mm-hmm. And even love animals. The love that he has for Fred and calling him his child throughout the book and him and Aly's kid. You go from such a badass to like this soft, gentle soul. So no knock on Aly because she's freaking sick. I mean, her job, who she is, like just bold and powerful and secure, but at the same time she's vulnerable. I don't take away from her character at all because I loved her. She was she truly
was a good character,
But I love the tenderness that Navessa put, like she poured so much into Josh.
Yeah, she did.
She really did.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my opinion.
Yeah. No, I agree. 1,000%. I agree.
She really poured into Josh, and Josh would be perfect without all the freaky shit. True. Nerdy, loyal, kind, sweet, non-judgmental, like side by side. This is my girl. This is who I'm with. I'm protecting her. Fuck you and everybody that comes along with it.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
I'll tell you what, there was something about Josh that really got me, like really, really got me. It was when they went to the family dinner.
Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
They went to the family dinner. I said before that because they were dealing with the mob and everything, Uncle Nico, he's a big time mobster. He basically gets rid of problems. You know what I'm saying? Gets rid of problems.
And he cleans up problems.
And he cleans them up. Yeah. Him and his crew, right? So they go to the family dinner and Uncle Nico, this is after everything has happened. Uncle Nico has come in to clean up. He's done everything. And like I said, Josh was a little bit intimidated by Uncle Nico because, we're dealing with the mob.
That's because Nico is not.
He's not.
He's the real deal.
And he's like, I don't know. What do you say? Like 5'7"? Like he's a little guy. But compared to Josh, 6'5", 6'4", yeah. Anyway, he's trying to be respectful of the family for Aly, and he's like, he knows what he can do. He might not be able to come in guns blazing and like annihilate the whole entire family, but he can annihilate the family digitally. And that might be worse.
Oh, and he made that clear.
He did. He did.
Made that clear.
Because Uncle Nico's like all of a sudden becoming protective of Aly, because that's his niece. And he's not a big guy, but he's a big mob guy. So he's got the guns and everything to back him up. So Uncle Nico, his character, his personality, his everything, I love the guy. But when he crosses a line with Josh, and there is something in Josh that just all of a sudden, and literally like this,
it was a switch.
Josh is like, yeah. And all of a sudden he's like, look, motherfucker. Aly's not around. He doesn't do it in front of Aly because he doesn't want to disrespect Aly. And so he tells him, look, aside from you, there's nobody else that cares for Aly more than I do.
Yeah.
And nobody else that will protect her more than me. He says, basically, puts him in his place. You're not going to sit here and try to intimidate me because there's nobody that's going to take care of Aly more than me.
Yeah.
Nobody that loves her more. Nobody that... And he just like asserts his 6'4", 6'5" stature on this guy. But the fact that Uncle Nico doesn't even back down?
No. But
that was pretty badass.
Look, when he backs down, when Josh breaks it down to him, I will blow up your business.
Yeah.
He's like, I will eat it from the inside out.
Yep.
That was freaking awesome because Nico in his 5'7" self was like, okay.
Yeah.
And was like, deflate.
Yeah.
And like Yvette, Nico was probably one of my favorite characters in the book.
He was good.
Nico, Aly, and Josh. I freaking love them. Even the bodyguard. Oh my God, I'm trying to remember his name.
I can't remember his name, but I know which one you're talking about.
His quick wit was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what kills me. There were certain parts of first section that I loved, but I loved Ally's family more than I loved all their nursing stuff.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
When Nico came in, I was like, killed it.
Which, by the way, in the beginning, when Allie's talking about like all the different characters at work, right? The different people at work, her coworkers and stuff, she mentions this one guy, Greg. Okay. Turns out to be her cousin.
Yep.
Turns out to be cousin Greg,
Monster.
Nico's son.
Yippers.
Who is probably has been planted at the hospital that she works at to watch over her.
Yeah.
Anyway, his part in it like was kind of minor, but still the way Navessa like ties in all the characters.
Oh, I loved
and
it.
stuff,
She looped
that
them in
was
so good.
Yeah, that was amazing.
So good.
But I do stand by my original assessment of the fact that it kind of dragged in the first couple of like maybe 3 or 4 chapters. I was like, yawn.
Yeah.
Like,
She
let's
was
get
like-
on with it.
She's like, I'm having such a hard, and I'm like, but I love it.
She loved it.
You know? So, I mean, I am such like a little person too. So the build up to a personality, a character is just very unique for me.
Yeah.
And having ADHD and how my reels work, and cuz 50, I loved that build up because I love to get to know the character that I'm reading. Mm-hmm. So I think Navessa did such a great job with that.
She did, yeah.
In my opinion. So definitely recommend it.
I feel like she tied in the characters.
Oh my
really,
God.
really
Hell
well.
yeah.
Really
She-
well. Yeah.
I mean, her plot twists were like, I called her. I was on vacation and I was like, what the fuck? What did she do? You know,
What is
so-
happening? And I'm like trying to tell her. She's like, no.
No. I was like, no. But
funny.
eventually the way it tied in, I'm on the plane and I'm like texting her. I'm like,
Funny.
and she did a good job.
Definitely. All right. I want to now talk about the epilogue. This was Miss Joanna's
God, it's
favorite
my
part.
favorite.
I gotta say, it was my least favorite. It was my least favorite only because, okay, first of all, talk about the epilogue and why you liked it so much.
Actually,
Yeah.
I have a clip.
Oh, you have clips. Okay.
I have clips. So, I am a hopeless romantic. So and this is why we connect so much because
Yes.
we do have opposite opinions and we don't always agree on certain things and we have different views on stuff. At the end of the day, we're very similar in certain areas. So the reason why the epilogue was so good to me was because of it truly showed at the end of the day Aly and Josh's love. And since the sincerity of their love, and you almost like leave the codependency, the traumatic bond, and all that. So, I did get you a clip, a little sneak peek. Go.
Epilogue. Aly. I crashed through the undergrowth with all the grace of a water buffalo. Twigs snapped beneath my heels. Birds shrieked overhead, announcing my presence. I ignored it all and kept on sprinting. Right now wasn't about stealth. It was about speed. I was being hunted, and if I had any hope of escaping my fate, I needed to put as much distance between myself and the man who chased me as possible.
So
The midsummer
excited.
sun sat high in the cornflower blue sky, baking the forest with its heat. Sweat beaded along my forehead as I leaped over a fallen log and kept on running. The trees were laden with leaves, their lower branches reaching out to grab at my hair and clothes as if trying to slow me down. And the air was so humid that I could feel it pressing in on me like a weighted blanket. I put on another burst of speed, defiance burning through my veins. Josh was not going to catch me. Why the hell had I made that bet with him? I must have been out of my mind at the time, or suffering from sex-induced diminished capacity. Is that even a thing? 6 months ago, I wouldn't have believed it possible. But since then, I could think of several times that I'd been dicked so good I'd briefly forgotten how to do basic things like walk unaided or solve simple math equations. The wager was
She had.
straightforward.
I mean, Josh
If
had.
Josh caught me within the next 20 minutes, I lost. I really didn't want to lose. Losing meant making my first ever appearance in one of his thirst traps, and he would have full creative license over exactly how I took part. Knowing him, he'd use it as another chance to needle me, and I would either be embarrassed by it or become the internet's most hated woman for the second time in less than a...
So it stops. When you hear her passion for him
Yeah.
and the chase and the release. So Josh does catch up with her. He fucks with her. She thinks she's smarter than him.
Yes. And faster.
And faster
Yeah.
because she's in such great condition, and he catches up with her. When he does, read the book. Mm-hmm. And then I think the most fascinating aspect of it was the epilogue sealed their love.
Yeah.
It was like he was already thinking of family and what he wanted to do with her and what their future was going to be like. So he like sealed the deal to me, like on truly how his devotion was to her. Mm-hmm. I mean, and her devotion to him, don't get me wrong. It's just, you can sense the love more in the epilogue that Josh is so committed to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh
I
my
agree.
gosh, his character is freaking awesome.
His character was the best one,
Yeah.
I think I agree with you. And even though he was the antagonist, one of the antagonists.
So, hold on. We're going to give you a snippet. So when Aly, since I was Aly, Yvette was Josh, Aly went through something in the hospital, which we didn't discuss.
We didn't, no.
Um,
That led to the crime.
that led to the crime.
Yeah.
So Aly and her, what do you call them? Her
Co-workers?
co-workers.
Yeah.
They were battling over taking care of a patient. We're not going to tell you what the patient did, but so Aly, being the freaking ballsy chick she is, she's like, I will take care of him.
Yeah.
And she, as soon as he came in and started on her, she freaking knocked him down. Mm-hmm. And
Whole time Josh is watching.
we told you the cameras, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you guys have to, if you haven't read it, if you have read it, comment, because we want to hear what you think. But if you haven't read it, read it. I mean, oh my God. She did such a great job freaking just connecting everything.
And there were so many different, like, roads.
Yeah.
Crossroads, roads, turns, twists, plot twists. And at the end, it just clicked. And underlying, no matter what they went through from the beginning all the way to the epilogue, it's all about their love. And I think that's why I was so invested in this story.
I'm telling you, once
Yeah.
I was at work, and I'm like, oh my God. Sitting at my desk like, hell yeah. I mean, I'm telling you. And you can tell by my book it's pretty worn. So when I took it on vacation, I was reading it on the beach. I was reading it by the pool. I was like, there's like dents and stuff on it. I was like, where did the dents come from? And I was like, I'm texting you that. I was like, holy crap, this book is fantastic. I can't wait to read the second one.
Yeah, the second one should be a lot of fun. Again, it's completely different characters, completely different storyline. I did want to say, though, about the epilogue for me. It wasn't my favorite.
See, it wasn't her favorite.
Yeah, it wasn't my favorite only because I felt like it kind of dragged on and like Aly was trying a little bit too hard to be hard. And that wasn't her really in the whole book. And then in the epilogue, I was like, wow, trying a little bit too hard. But at the end, when he catches up with her and the whole
sex scene, dirty little bird.
when he catches up with her in the sex scene, no, let me tell you, I was like, this is what I'm left with? Sex in the woods?
It's not called Sex in the Woods. I've learned it's called greenleafing.
Greenleafing. Oh, I never heard
And
that.
for those that know, they know.
I never heard that.
Yes,
Greenleafing.
it's
Okay.
called greenleafing.
I've had sex in the woods. I have had sex in the woods. How many times am I going to say it? But I will say though that
I have not.
the way she described it, Navessa, the way she described Josh and Aly in the woods and like by the stream and up by, you know, the little like embankment and stuff, that would be the perfect like sex in the woods scene. Greenleafing. That would be the perfect greenleafing
Navessa,
for me.
good
Yeah.
job.
Good job. Good job.
Good job, girl.
And then coming back to the cabin and everything.
I love
and
the cabin and the cats getting into trouble. See, like those things I found super cutesy.
Super cute. Yeah.
Because, you know, like this rough man is like our children. Like those are his kids.
Yeah.
The two cats were
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
their kids combined.
And it was a big thing.
Yeah.
Because he felt like his whole life he couldn't have a pet, he couldn't whatever, because he felt like he was going to hurt it.
Yeah.
You know, because of who his father was. So it's a major deal. It's a big deal about his character and the evolution of his character,
Yep.
because we see now he's this big fucking burly dude. Not only
Teddy bear.
not only big in stature, but big in like heart and affection, and his brain is fucking huge. Everything is big about him, and his love for animals, and his love for Aly, and his love for the people that he loves. He doesn't love all people, and I think that's why I relate to him so
Yeah.
much. Does not love all people, but the people that he loves, he loves intensely and hard and with all his being. So, yeah.
That's
Guys,
why,
yeah.
I think that's why I freaking love Josh so much too, is because I found myself in his character too.
Yes.
Especially with the love
I agree.
aspect. We're ride or die.
Yeah. Until you push us so far that we're just dead.
We're like, yeah.
All right, so now we're at our wow. And Miss Joanna has
Please,
a wow.
Let me tell you, research.
Mm-hmm.
She made me work for this.
Love it, love it, love it. That's how I am usually.
You know what? I'm giving you a wow. I have like a million pictures in there, so I'm gonna give you my wow, my advice,
See,
my heart to heart.
yes.
Before committing yourself to someone fully, make sure that you know who you're with.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that you love who you are before you love anyone outside of yourself, outside of your family, outside of your friends, outside of your person. Be truly committed to love and respect and humbleness and kindness. We all deserve to be loved. We all deserve to be respected. We all deserve some kind of grace.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, when you give all that and you give too much of that, and they can never reflect on what you've given them and all they look at is what they've given to you, it's time to part ways. So that's my wow for you guys today.
Ah, that's good. That's good, because sometimes we give, and when it's not reciprocated, or when it's given but there are strings attached,
Yeah.
or it's given and it's there are conditions.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same thing as saying strings attached, right? But conditions in the sense of, well, I give this to you, let me get some recognition for whatever it is that I give to you. My love, my support, gifts, even physical gifts, So I feel like though that rings true, and I feel like on the opposite side of that, the people that are receiving these things, make sure that you are humbly receiving and grateful for everything that is being given to you, whether it's love, whether it's support, whether it's advice, whether it's friendship, romanticism, lust, whatever it is that you're receiving, be grateful and humble for it, because, yeah, it's coming hopefully from a source of compassion and love and empathy and sympathy and true connection. But know also for yourself when it's not really that you love yourself enough. We've said this 1,000 times on the podcast, 1,000 times. You cannot expect somebody to love you if you don't love yourself, or if they don't love themselves. Right. So, and you can only love somebody as much as you love yourself. So if you don't have that love for yourself unconditionally, then you're never going to love somebody else unconditionally. Mm-hmm. So, but you have to know also, if that other person is not loving you in that way, in the way that you are meant to be loved and want to be loved and deserve to be loved, then you have to know when to walk away. You're right. Yeah.
Love is without condition.
Mm-hmm.
And I think a lot of people forget, especially people that don't know how to be loved,
Mm-hmm.
they forget that there's no condition to love.
Yeah.
When you pour into somebody, you pour in with such pureness and with such love that you go into it without expectations.
Right.
And you have to make sure that your partner is the same way.
Yeah.
Just remember, your love languages are different.
Mm-hmm.
And until you're in tune with that person's love language, you'll never be able to connect with them.
Mm-hmm.
So just be sure that you are in tune with who you're with.
Yep.
If you're not, it's okay to say goodbye.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And also remember that, speaking of love languages, the love languages are how you give and receive love. Mm-hmm. How you give and receive love. That doesn't necessarily mean that the way you give love is the way the other person is going to receive
Absolutely.
love.
Yep.
So.
And sometimes you have to adjust to them, because if you want to make your partner happy, that's what you need to do. But there's times where adjusting isn't suffice.
Yeah. That's very true.
Unfortunately.
Very, very true. Okay, we're not gonna leave you just yet. But those are fantastic words of wisdom, and hopefully you have enjoyed season 3. This is our last episode of season 3, and there are some way different changes coming for season 4. Yeah. We've said this, like, after season 1, we said season 2 was going to be different, and it was.
There's more changes, guys, coming, so.
A lot more different
changes. It's going to be very different.
Very different. But since this is our last episode for season 3, we want to wish you all, oh Lord, yeah, of course we had to have the motorcycles.
It's that fucking motorcycle.
We want to wish you guys a very special holiday season. Yes. Even though we're recording this in August, it's going to release in December. But we want to wish you guys a very happy holiday season. Yes. Even though we're going to be far apart from each other, we're still going to be close in heart.
Yes.
We're still going to be close in heart. So, and we look forward to bringing you some more fun stuff in season 4, different stuff.
And special guests.
And more special guests, exactly. And have a fantastic time off. Please stay tuned, because, in between we do these reels and, all these different things, keeping you updated between season 3 and season 4. Season 4, we're not sure yet when it's going to start, but we'll let you know.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
At this point, we haven't actually scheduled it out, but
there's a lot of things going on right now.
Yes,
some changes. So
definitely stay tuned though, and read Caught Up by Navessa Allen. Yeah. This
Lights
is,
Out.
Yeah, Lights Out 2. If you haven't yet, by this point you should
And then
have already.
Número dos.
Yes, yes. Caught Up. It's called Caught Up, I think.
Yeah, Caught Up.
I'm
and
pretty
then
sure it's called
we
Caught Up.
will be podcasting that one too.
We will. And yeah, anything else? Thank you.
Thank you. We love you guys. Thank you for your support. Follow us on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok. Your support really, really helps us. We are a baby podcast, but we are here for you guys. So reach out to us, comment, send us DMs. We love you guys. YouTube and Spotify, that's where you'll find us too. So thank you.
Adios, amigos.
Adios.